Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to a normal Joe and Per Ingemar Anderson. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker, as we continue exploring the story of Silverleaf's quaint little kingdom. Now, we've actually got a pretty good idea of what we're doing today. We're headed south across the Shrike River, and then we're headed due west towards the Swamp Witch's hut, where we apparently still have quite a few things we need to do. Of course, that'll also be taking us through a small patch of uncharted territory, so we might end up encountering a few points of interest on the way there. That said, let's head on out and see what there is to see. Empty Skull Rock. This rock resembles the skull of some bizarre creature, half buried in the ground. Two dark cave entrances gape in its surface, resembling eye sockets. Due to this circumstance or some other reason, the place has received a nasty reputation. Travelers try to avoid it. Sounds like a nice place. Let's check it out. Okay, looks like our standard medium-sized cave map. Makes sense.
The end draws near.
Let's toss up a quick bless spell.
Right here, my
I guess we should buff Doggo too. He is on point.
I wrote it like I saw it.
Time's not waiting. All according to plan.
Ah, ferocious trollhounds. We actually fought a pretty decent amount of those things back at the Troll King's fortress. Let's toss up a few more buffs, but this should be pretty easy.
And Lindsay was called forth.
All right, let's do this. Oh, we also have to watch for reinforcements. Let's get some spell support in here.
Adventures call to them.
Oh, I did end up turning up the difficulty setting, but I guess we're just really good at killing things. Not something you'd normally want to brag about. Huh. Artificial flower. Strange. Well, we've got a cave, so let's check that out. And it's more trollhounds.
Enemy approaching.
I'm writing you out of our story.
That's a little surprising. Usually they hide something really tough in these caves. Ooh. Apparently, a lot of elves die on our southern borders. Ooh, I think we can actually use that. Nice. That is a solid upgrade for Tristan. I mean, he's still in trouble if he gets stuck in close combat, but that extra AC could help. Another artificial flower. Interesting. Looks like we've got a second cave. Let's have a peek in there. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a bit more what I was expecting. And that's that. I suppose between Tristan and Silverleaf, we're actually pretty uniquely qualified when it comes to killing trolls. Okay, I guess we're done. Moving on. Gotta say, I was really kind of expecting a story behind those flowers.
In due time. That is not far.
We've got that lizard village, but I'd really kind of like to fill out the southern edge of the map first.
My strength fades.
That's timely. Secluded Lodge. The hunting lodge of Dour, a dwarven huntress who provides shelter to travelers. The harsh hostess avoids contact with the outside world, except for travelers seeking lodging or traders bringing food and supplies. Dour's lodge sits on the border of the grassy canelands and the swampy Narlmarches, both inhospitable lands, ready to swallow any unwary wanderers without a trace. That's either convenient or incredibly suspicious. Guess we'll find out. Seems nice enough. The fire crackles, bringing comfort to weary travelers. I try not to think what was in the stew I ordered. You want something? There is a Rastal's holy symbol above the fireplace. The god of the hunt and family ties protects this place. Okay, that does seem pretty trustworthy. Let's have a chat with our host. A sturdy, dour-faced dwarf stands before you, hands on her hips. Despite the wrinkles on her face, she looks more than capable of handling herself. She eyes you up and down. First time here, is it? House rules are simple. Don't trouble the other guests, clean up your own mess, and don't cross me, or the sky'll be your roof. Name's Doumra, but don't call me if you need anything. Guests attend to themselves. What is this place? Can't you see for yourself? Doumra grumbles. A place where people can rest after the hunt, enjoy a tankard or two, and fill their gullet. The nearest tavern is far, you know. How long have you been living here? Doumra squints at you, searching her features. Many years now. I know the whole neighborhood, flatlands and the swamps. This place is rather secluded for a traveler's inn. This is not an inn. Doumra looks around the room. It's my home. I hunt for a living and let other fellow hunters spend a night here, if they find themselves too far from a tract. What is the main hunter's prey in these parts? On the flatlands, they go for fox and deer, birds in the swamp. There's always a chance of running into something more dangerous, of course. Thank you. That's enough about your lodge. You need something else. I'd like to see your wares. Okay, looks pretty straightforward. It does give us a good place to sell off our excess loot, though. We'll hold on to the magic items for now. I'd like to sell those all in Stag's Fall. That way we can keep them all in one place. I think we'll also grab that pendant while we're here. It is expensive, but I believe we'll get a small profit when we hand it over to the storyteller. Yes? I'd like to spend the night here. Doumra doesn't change her expression. 7 gold pieces. 7 gold pieces? I am the ruler of these lands. Shouldn't I rest here without paying? Doumra narrows her eyes. 10 gold pieces, then. Fair enough. Here you go. You know, I would like to have a look around, maybe help myself to a few things, but, we'll do that next time. We've probably overstayed our welcome anyway. Okay. Looks like our next stop is actually Gnarlkeep Village. We own the place, but we've never actually stopped there before. Ah, which means we can actually access kingdom events again. Howling Wolves. The Regent recruited the people for a hunt. Our Pathfinders tracked the wolves to their lairs and killed them all. It turns out that a bloodthirsty warg had formed a whole wolf army, His head and skin have made a fine decoration for the town hall, and is already a symbol of pride for the people. Wow, nicely done, Valerie. Good to see she's, coping with her recent experiences. Oh, let's have a quick peek at that village while we're here. Ah, okay. So Dragon lives in Gnarlkeep. We do need to stop in there then. There we go. Greetings. As you see, I've already set up shop. Took a lot of work, of course, but now I've got a nice place. No worse than the guild smithy. So, tell me about that idea you had about a family relic and a masterpiece. Dragon's face clouds over. Here's the story. Our family used to have a suit of plate armor named Onslaught. My grandfather wore it to perform many heroic deeds. What a great dwarf he was. But it's been stolen by my own brother, Kurgan. And then Kurgan fled. Onslaught has been on my mind ever since. I'd intended to bring the relic back to the clan and restore my good name. After you hired me, one merchant told me he saw some fragments of armor that looked like Onslaught. Kurgan is such a fool. He couldn't find a buyer for the whole suit. It's too valuable. So he pawned it off, piece by piece. Someone got the jamberts, another got the gauntlets, a third got the cuirass. A fine set of armor turned into a pile of junk. Fancy junk. See if you can find my grandfather's armor and bring it back. I promise I will repay you. It turns out that 3 local merchants have the 3 parts of the armor. They're like vultures pulling apart a corpse. They buy whatever catches their eye, not caring whether it's stolen or not. One merchant seems to be in the capital. Another was staying at some trading post. It's got an owner with a strange name. The third one always prowls in distant corners, looking to buy valuables on the cheap. I believe he has an acquaintance, Huntress Doomra. She might well have it. Really now, that I think we can work with. I want to know more about you. Dragon's cheeks turn beet red, and he says softly, "Why, it's an honor to indulge your interest. What would you like to know?" What has led you to these lands? Dragon's face grows grim. That's a bad story. My clan has always been proud of its strong blood. My grandfather was a legend, my father was a worthy master, and I dare hope, haven't failed my family. But my brother Kurgan, he's always been a scallywag, always running off somewhere, looking for trouble. Soon after I came of age, he did something terrible. He stole a clan relic, the armor of my respected grandfather, and took off. It was a disgrace. Everyone looked at me like I was the bad seed, because I was the brother of the one who laughed at tradition and desecrated the glory of our family. Eventually, I decided I'd had enough. I packed up my things and left the house, looking for a new place, where people wouldn't always be looking at me and whispering. That's how I ended up here. I see. Tell me about your craft. Our people are masters of making armor and weapons. Everyone knows that. We can equip a fighter so that he can fight for hours without getting tired or suffering any wounds. Many have tried to copy our designs and methods, but they're just imitators who don't understand the intricacies of the craft. Tell me about your family. Waradash is a decent, respectable clan. We're considered especially honored, standing out even among the other clan families. My grandfather accomplished many feats in his time, and my father won respect and honor in many battles. I'm trying hard to be worthy of this legacy, especially since I'm carrying the load for two. Dragon's face turns grim. Thank you. We'll discuss this later. The dwarf nods gravely. Of course. Do you like it in my lands? Dragon looks discontented, stroking his beard. Well, what can I say? There's quite a lot of troublemakers here, and the ones who get called honorable aren't exemplary law-abiding citizens. I guess it's what lands like these do to people. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Thank you for your, candor. Well, turns out that was well worth our time. And obviously, we're right next to Doomra's hunting lodge, so we'll check that out once we get the chance. I'm also pretty sure he was also talking about Oleg and Hasov. They are the main traders in the game. That we'll have to wait until we head back towards Stag's Fall. Still got a lot to do out here. Oh, hold on. Shania. Shania. A young woman catches your eye. She looks like she has come from far away. She approaches with a dancing gait and addresses you, speaking in unfamiliar drawl. May the perfect human protect you. I am happy to meet you, O worthy one. My name is Shania, but you may simply call me the Tulip, as all the best of my friends do. Ever since the sun rose today, I've had a feeling that I shall take part in a grand encounter, one that shall change our fates forever. And lo, it is so. Praised be the perfect human for this gift he has bestowed upon these eyes that see the future. And so we meet. What next? You, O worthy one, can help me find my calling. I am beset by doubt. What if, by choosing the path of a master smith, I am making a terrible mistake? After all, I, Shania the Tulip, have seen many wonders, the likes of which your humble realm has never even heard of, and I wish to recount them. But alas, I cannot write in your language. For this reason, I require a writer. I have witnessed Master Chokek cover emptiness in tattoos, and a human grew out of them, for these patterns were so intricate and deep that the ink became more important than the flesh. Trust me, for I have woven the tale of these events myself. Perhaps I have been destined to become the muse of a great writer. If, O worthy one, you find a suitable scribe for me, I shall pay you back handsomely with my wisdom and advice. Uh-huh. You know what? Lindsay loves stories. You can talk to her. I am grateful, O worthy one. I shall relate to you the story of my ancestor, Vu Balak. Let us see if she is nimble enough to write it all down, without omitting any of the colorful details. I greet you, young Lindsay. They say that you are writing a book. That is most fortunate, for I can embellish it with a few stories that I have lived through during my adventures. Once I met a monk from the House of Perfection. He was an ascetic, and hadn't eaten for 4 whole years. Hold on, 4 years? Are you sure that he ate absolutely nothing? Maybe it was, well, you know, some sort of moderate fasting? More like a diet. Like when you do eat, but only a little bit. No. Why would you think that? Breaking his ascesis would have been a shameful weakness. He did not eat at all. The people revered him as a pious and enlightened man whose spirit was very strong. But I, as soon as I met him, suspected that he might be a liar. I decided to expose him for what he truly was. Wait a moment, 4 years? That's impossible. If I skip breakfast and dinner, my stomach hurts so badly I can't even walk. It's really hard to believe that the monk could spend a whole 4 years like... Young Lindsay, by paying attention to such unimportant details, you run the risk of missing the heart of the matter. As I was saying, I decided to bring the monk's dishonesty to light. I enlisted the services of a shaitan who owed me a favor. This earth genie stood in front of the monk and sang a song. In that very moment, the hermit's face twitched, and a stream of stones erupted from his mouth. Imagine this. He had swallowed rocks to fill up his stomach, to save himself the pangs of hunger. He swallowed enough stones to fill his stomach, and lived, and never had to eat again? As far as I know, it doesn't work like that. Of course I'll write down your story, but I doubt it will enjoy much success. It's just too incredible for our provincial audience. With a guilty smile, Lindsay turns away. Your story is truly incredible, Shania. Perhaps I am not as good at telling stories as I thought. After all, putting the events of the past into words is not quite the same thing as witnessing them. Perhaps I chose wrongly when I decided to become a muse. Until I can answer this question, I shall remain true to the calling I've always pursued: weaponsmithing. If in your kindness you could indulge me once more, and grant me a workshop in these lands, then I swear to you I shall make for you truly miraculous weapons, the likes of which these lands have never seen. But for now, let me tell you a story that our conversation reminded me of. Oh, gosh, look at the time. I'm sorry, but I have to go. Okay. Well, that was certainly something. I can actually feel my throat disintegrating, but against my better judgment, let's see if she needs anything else. Shania is happy to see you, O most worthy one. Rest your legs and listen to my stories. That is, if you've nothing more important to do. Such as assisting me in a delicate situation. Shania gives you a sly wink. Sure, what sort of help do you need? The Vudrani proffers a small scroll. This was written by my father. It was meant for a family that has lived for centuries near the home of my relatives in Absalom. Life has scattered us all across Golarion, but we never gave up hopes of reuniting with those we once knew so well. My father asked me to pass the letter to a member of this fine family, if I should ever happen to stumble across one. As I have recently discovered, one of them lives nearby. The noble Hassuf trades in your capital. I confess, I am too nervous to meet him. I fear that my anxiety will cause me to behave inappropriately, and I may disgrace myself for it. Would you assist me in fulfilling my duty and deliver him this letter? I do not believe that my heart can be at peace until this letter is delivered. One cannot be a master when beset by such distraction. You know what? That actually works out. We have to pay Hassuf a visit anyway, so we'll just add it to the list. That said, let's hastily make our exit. She's got a lot more to say, but I would like to do some actual adventuring today. Until we meet again, O worthy one. It shall happen sooner than you think. The perfect human has told me. 1001 questionable stories.
As it should be.
Gotta give those writers credit. Okay, moving on. Alright, now, the obvious thing to do here would be to go back to the Secluded Lodge and get that armor piece for Dragon, but like I said, I think we'll pay the Swamp Witch a visit first. That is what we set out to do today. Alright, so off the top of my head, I remember we've got giant slugs up here, and something down here. The old beldame is here, and we've got that well, which is somehow connected to the ghosts and ghouls. Then we've got the scythe tree, and then we've got that dryad and her satyr boyfriend, who are waiting for us to destroy the scythe tree. Wow, we actually have a lot to do here. You have no business prowling around here. Her eyes narrow. What are you, a thief? Bandit? She studies you, then hisses in her throat. Hell take you if you're a tax collector. Here are your black rattlecaps. The old woman smells the mushrooms and takes a small bite. She chews on it slowly for a moment, then grins, a gleam in her eye. Ha! Strong! These will be good, all right. After her new herbs are tucked away, she seems a bit more pleasant, even giving a gap-toothed smile. That's a proper greeting. Trading favors. Help me and I help you. So, what did you want to know, Ask. I know the area. Might be able to help you on your way. Or maybe you need some potions. Nothing cheap, but nothing you can't afford. And they do the trick, they do. Well, that is quite a shift. Here are your herbs, 3 bundles of each. The old woman claps her hands and grins, revealing a row of brown, uneven teeth. There's a good boy. Did it take a lot of time to find them, eh? Give them here. I'll put them to good use. You again? I'd offer you tea, but I don't have any. How about a cup of deathcap tincture instead? She gives a splintered grin. Best thing for health. I will pass. I have some doubts. I'm looking for a lost child. Have you seen him by chance? A boy? What would I do with a brat? Pickle him in a jar? That's rich. She gives a rattling laugh. Where is it written that if an old woman likes a little peace and quiet, she must be a child-stealing witch? Who knows what could have snatched a child? Mayhaps he was eaten by goblins, or lured to the swamp by the wandering lights. Or maybe his poor, sobbing mother with all her false tears strangled him in his sleep, then put him to bed with a shovel somewhere deep in the forest, and now looks for someone to mantle the blame. Go to her, squeeze answers from her. Make her tell you where her whelp is, but don't be bothering me. Good Lord. She's shaking with indignation. She's a proud woman, you can tell that easily, and the fact she's breaking composure makes you sure she's telling the truth. So, what happened here? I've no idea. Used to be a village here once. Good folk. Well off, but not so well off to put on airs. They were at peace with the Fae, even had festivals, celebrated with them. But that was long ago, 6 or 7 dozen years at least. As for what ruined them, I don't know. Got a guess, though. In the darkest nights, strange sounds come from deep in the woods, crackling and moaning, as if a great tree is twisting its roots, rattling its branches like bones. There's something there, a creature that drove away folk and fae alike. Yeah, that tracks. As far as I've heard, a daughter of a human and a fae used to live here. Her name was Elga Verniax. Are you her? The old beldame averts her eyes. Might be me, she sighs. Or might not. What's the difference? Who would still remember that name? Fair enough. How much for your potions? Well, not the most exciting adventuring, but we have actually made several changes to our quest log. Ooh, greater invisibility. I think we actually need that. Nice. I wasn't actually sure. Would have felt silly if I had just wasted all that gold. Anyway, like I said, I think we've actually made a fair amount of progress today, so let's hit the pause button here. I'll pop out to the world map, get Shania's shop started, and we'll pick up here next time, as we officially tie up all the loose ends we've still got waiting for us. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Pathfinder Kingmaker, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official YouTube channel, the official Discord server, the official Facebook page, the official Twitter feed, or the original crowdfunding campaign over on Kickstarter. Links are in the description.